Hi guys, so here's another weekly makeup look. And today I just kind of combined a lot of my Pandos eyeshadows, project pans, and stuff like that with one of my newest palettes, which is the Beauty Below by Blend Bunny Cosmetics. So let me kind of show you how I created this eye look. It's a regular day, so I'm just wearing an eye look and then like blush and highlighter and stuff. So this is the eye look. I think it's really, really pretty and really fun, even though it's like quite basic, but I feel like it's cute. So I started with a shade that you can't actually see on my eye because I just kind of a trick that I've learned since I started like project panning is to just use the certain shades pretty much only as a base. Well, kind of just put it on the area that's gonna be covered with shimmers or other products, but just to like use it. And since I knew that it's not gonna interfere with the colors that I'm actually gonna put over that, because I've tried it with the swatches. So it's the Crypt shade from the Hello Beam palette by Shroud Cosmetics. I don't know if you can see, maybe, but there's a huge dip happening because I've actually been using it like that. I think this is my third time using it like that, kind of all over the lid, underneath the lashes, just like everywhere. So that's one of them, and like the dip is getting to be quite big, but also this is really deep pan, so I think it's gonna take a while for me. So that's one of the shades that you can't see, but I'm actually wearing on my eyes. Then from the Beauty Below by Blend Bunny, which is this beautiful palette, I want to haul it soon. So I used what did I actually use? It's kind of hard to remember. Oh yeah, I know. I used the Siren Shriek, this one, in the outer part of the lid. And then I also have the shade, okay, wait, now I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I have the shade Entrampment, this one, in the outer corner. Then for the shimmers, so actually as a base shimmer that I don't even think you can see, maybe slightly in a flip, but to just have like, again, to use something, I have two of my Pendos eyeshadows. I actually used all of my Pendos eyeshadows today except one that already has a pan that I've been able to do 2 days ago. But this is the Neverland shade from the Tinkerbell palette by Colourpop. So I've used that in the second half of the lid, and maybe you can slightly see the like the silver sparkle, because the shade Neverland is actually frankened with one of the silver shades from the Christmas Eve palette by Odysey, because I had like very little amount left. I think it's the shade Snowflake, because I had just like barely anything left, so I mixed it into this shade because I don't really like how satiny that was. And here's the thing, maybe there's a pan, or maybe it's just one of the silver flakes. I'm not completely sure, so I'm gonna have to use it one more time to find out if I already have a pan or if I need to use it more. But I think it's a pan. Like, I don't know, can you see that? I feel like it's a pan, which would be wonderful because it's been in my Pendos eyeshadows for almost 2 months. Sorry, I can't speak. So yeah, that one. Then another one that I have in this first half of my lid, and let me see, also underneath my lashes, just as the Neverland shade, is this shade called Think, also from the Tinkerbell palette. This one is one of those shades that I'm not actually trying to hit pan because it already had a huge pan. Well, it had like half of the pan you can see right now. But I'm trying to use it up completely. This one I think shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it is really satiny shade, but I do like to use it as a base underneath everything just to like use it. And this one is a very small pan, like the Colourpop pans from their actual palettes, not the ones that are from their singles, but from their palettes, they're very shallow. Very, very shallow. So yeah, there's not much product. And if it's gonna be too hard to use it up, I'm just gonna like franken it with something fun to make it easier for myself. And then the actual shimmers that you can see on the lid. So I've used the shade Carnivorous, this one, from the Beauty Below. And it's actually over here, and I think you can't really see the green underneath unless I shift my face, but you can see the silver sparkles that are in the shade Neverland currently. So that one is in the second half, and then in the first half, all over the pink shade is this one called Trance, which is like gold green one. Very, very pretty, like very beautiful shade. I do really enjoy this one. And it's actually my third time using it, so I can haul this shade, but not the rest of the palette. I think there's only 3 shades currently that have 3 uses, which is kind of my goal for every single monthly haul. So that's in the first half. And also, I'm wearing the shade Abduction in my brows because it's a really nice brow shade. I've actually only worn it once on my eyes, and then the rest is were on my brows. I've worn that like 2 or 3 times already on my brows like that. And it's a really nice shade for that, so it might be my brow shade because I just don't really use neutrals, and I don't have any, apart from the green, I don't really have anything to wear neutrals with in this palette. So that's for the Beauty Below. Then inner corner, wait a sec, I'm kind of confused right now. Oh, I also forgot to mention over here the matte shade, I had the Crypt shade, and then I also used a little bit of this airbending shade from Colourpop from The Legend of Korra, just, you know, to brighten it slightly. You can't really see much of the yellow, but I just wanted to brighten it a little bit. Then in my inner corner in my inner corner, I'm actually wearing this Milky Way shade from this from the Mini Charms palette by Beauty Bay. So this one, I've actually had planned to use this palette, but I thought I'm gonna use it a little bit differently because I wanted to headband on the shade Cosmic, but I managed to do that yesterday, so yeah, and I just still wanted to use this little one, so why not? So that's in my inner corner, and it's kind of like a green gold pink. So right now for me this inner corner is pink and this one is gold, but I think for you, well, maybe you can see the same way. Yeah, I think you can see the same way. So yeah, it's a beautiful multichrome, kind of like iridescent multichrome. And then, oh yeah, I also wanted to use my last Pendos eyeshadows, sorry. And that's the Salmona 2 eyeshadow palette by Odysey. And the shade that I'm currently working on is the shade Neptune. And I decided to use that as a liner because I thought that it could be like a really nice pop of color. So yeah, this like deeper turquoisey shade. I think I'm gonna use it mostly as eyeliner from now on because I don't really like it on my lid. I don't know, it always turns darker on the lid than it is on the pan, and it just creates like a weird color. So I think I'm either gonna use it just on my lid as like a base for anything, or what I also noticed is really nice to do is start with this, softly blend it into the creases, like really softly, and then go over with like a really vibrant yellow. It creates the most beautiful green ever, but you have to make sure first of all that the two formulas blend nicely together. It actually kind of looks nice with this one as well, but it turns into more like a grungy green, which also is like really beautiful. So yeah, I can mix it with the warm light to also create something really fun. Or if I want to dial it down and make it more blue and more like kind of like periwinkle, I can use the shade Dream. It's also really nice, what I've noticed. So I think that's kind of my battle strategy moving forward with this shade, because I just don't really like it on its own. I don't mind it as a liner look though. Like I don't mind it to just have it as a liner. So that's for that one. And then for the rest of my face. So I have this Wet n Wild Mega Last Primer as always. Then the NYX glitter primer. And then I said the brow shade, and I also have this Got To Be Brow gel. I have my Chartreuse Flash liner from NYX. And this is the NYX Epic Wear liner stick. Love this shade so much. I wish they had this in like yellow as well, because I'm running out of my yellow liner from Revolution, and that one is like very neon-y, and I kind of want just like a basic yellow pencil, but I can't find like a nice one anywhere. And I would like to have some like more pastel yellow, because that's one of my most used colors in my waterline. Like whether I wear green, yellow, orange, blue, purple, look, like I always want to have yellow in my waterline. Then I'm also wearing the Essence Blush Like a Boss mascara. Then this Rimmel Kind and Free concealer in the shade 10 Fair. Then I have this Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice, and the Odysey and Angelica Nyquist Halloween Bundle Lipstick, and this one is the Glow One in the shade Radioactive. I've been wearing this combo non-stop all the time, every day almost, because it's just like it's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's very neutral, and it works with majority of my eye looks and kind of looks in general. And then for blush and highlighter, I actually wanted to use my Shop My Stash products, because I haven't really touched them too much, and also they're my 25 things to ban in 2025, so I should start to use them a bit, because there's a lot of it. Like it doesn't look like that because they actually dip really easily, and I've already used them many times. But these are the ColourPop Super Shock blushes and highlighters. So I have the blush in the shade All Laced Up, which is this beautiful orangey gold. I love this one, and I think I'm gonna wear it a lot now that the weather is gonna be nicer. But yeah, this one is, I've already hit pan, and I kind of not repressed it, I just kind of squished it around to make it flatter. There's still so much product. So that's the All Laced Up, and then I also have the Super Shock highlighter from ColourPop, and this one is the shade Highly Wasted. It's just a very basic gold orange one. I think I'm gonna start to use this as like a main highlight, and then maybe just on a really like with a really small blush seriously brush, I'm just gonna go with something more iridescent and sparkly, but just like concentrating in one area, because this one isn't sparkly enough for me, but also like if I use really sparkly highlighter, sometimes it's too much for like work and stuff. So maybe that could work, and I could also work on two things at once. But yeah, that's everything for this look. Here is a little bit more of a close-up. I just noticed that I forgot to put earrings on, and it's already like 5 in the afternoon. Yeah, I'm stupid. Whatever. I don't know. My eyes always look so pretty whenever I mix these shades. I just like it. Okay, it's very basic. Compared to like everything I do, this is very basic, but I like it. So that's everything for today, and see you tomorrow. And today I kind of combined a lot of different things, especially for my project pen and Pendos eyeshadows, to just like really get it moving. I would like to film my Pendos eyeshadows update soon again, but I don't really have much progress. So well, I have 2 pans already. So anyways, I've used the Salmon 2 palette from Odin's Eye. to create this like very basic look, but also like I had to get up really early, and also it's like Monday for me after the time changed, so like I'm just tired. But I used my Pendos eyeshadow shade, which is the shade Neptune, this one, and I kind of have it on the lid, in the crease, under the lower lash line, like kind of everywhere, because I really tried to like pack it everywhere I could. And the dip is getting really big, and actually like it looks very similar to the other pans that do have or like the other shades that do have pan in there, so I feel like it could happen anytime soon. I'm gonna try to use it like one more time this week, and maybe we'll be successful. And actually I also used this shade, which is called Soft Cloud. This shade that's here is frankened with one of my Glam Shop depotted shades from the Alter Ego palette, because it's the exact same shade that was there. And the shade that was originally there, I used most of it on my as a nail polish. So yeah, I just kind of frankened that previous one with a Glam Shop one, and they're the same shade. They're just slightly different formula, but they're the same shade. It's just that the Glam Shop is a little bit dustier. So that's for the Salmone palette. Then I have my Nomad Cosmetics Fairy Tale Europe that I'm currently kind of working with to be able to haul it soon. And I used two shimmers from this beautiful palette. I've used the shade Sleeping Beauty, this one, sorry, in the first half of the lid, and then the shade Love Story, this gorgeous one, in the second half. It is just such a beautiful combination. I know that's kind of like a basic look, but I just love these two shades together. Let me actually zoom you in a little bit closer. Like, do you see how sparkly and beautiful this is? Even though it's like a really basic look, I feel like it still looks really nicely. And I've used this palette I think 6 times so far, and it just, I have no complaints. Then I also have the Laguna palette by Glam Shop, because it's my project want to use this palette, and like I'm getting really pretty soon. Like I think I've used it 16 times, and when I rolled it into the project, I think it had 4 uses or something like that. So we're already like halfway, more than halfway done with this. And I've used the shade Atoll because I've only used that once previously. And this one I have it in the inner corner and also as a highlighter on my cheeks. I don't know how well you'll see that, but it's kind of like a green gold and very beautiful. I was first scared that it's gonna be too dark to use as a highlighter, but it's actually like, I don't know, all of these are pretty light shades and very iridescent. So unless I'm gonna use these two darkest ones, I think I'm gonna be fine. I do want to try this one because it's kind of like a peachy pink corally shade, and like if I swatch it in the back of my hand, like it's not too dark. I think it could still work as like a blush and highlighter all at once. So that's the Laguna. And then for the rest of the look, I have the NYX Glitter Primer, Wet n Wild Mega Last Primer, Rimmel Kind and Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair. Then I have this Udens Eye Manager Liner in the shade 7. I have this Essence Lash Princess Mascara. It's the False Lash Effect. I have this Revolution Fast Base Blush in the shade Peach. And then on my lips, I have the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice. And I've mixed it with this Udens Eye and Angelica Nyquist Halloween Bundle Lipstick. And this one is the Shine one in the shade Spectral. And then on my brows, oh, I also forgot to mention, let me take it out. I've used this, the Potted and Repressed shade from the Christmas Eve palette by Udens Eye. This is the shade Night Sky, because again it was like a nice opportunity to use it and there's very little of it, so I just wanted to get some progress on this one. Whew. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. And then I also used from the same palette this deep body shade, which is called Softly, and I've used that in my brows, and I almost have a pan there, which would be really cool. So that's the shade Softly. And then I have this Got To Be Brow Gel to hold it all in place. So that's kind of everything that I'm currently wearing. And let me know which look was your favorite from this entire collection. Let me know if you have any of these palettes and what color stories or colors you've been enjoying the most to wear in the past couple days. Because I've been definitely heavily leaning into like blues, teals, and greens. That's like my jam. So I have to switch it up and do like, I don't know, yellows or oranges or something. So let me know what color you're most drawn to right now. Hi guys, so here's another makeup look, and today I kind of combined a lot of different things, some older things, some newer things, couple projects, as always, you know, just working my way through a lot of things. And first up, I used my Wet n Wild Mega Last primer. Then I went in with my two Pendos eyeshadows shades. So one of them is this Crypt shade from Hello Bean palette from Shroud. It's the collaboration with Betty Bean. So this is, let me actually zoom in. Why do I always forget to zoom you in? Yeah, so it's this one. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a huge dip. Like maybe you can kind of see that. Like there's a huge dip happening. So maybe I might, but I think it's still gonna take me like at least 5 uses, maybe more. So I'm probably gonna have to, it's the beginning of April, it's the 1st of April, so it's probably gonna take me the full April to get there and to pan it. But then I also used the Salmon 2 palette by Odysey, and I have the shade Neptune, which is one of my Pendos eyeshadows, and there's a tiny pan. I don't even know if you can see it, but there's a pan. I was able to hit a pan, which I did not expect. Like I knew that there's a huge dip happening, but I was not expecting to actually hit a pan. And it's so small and tiny, but it's there, so I'm gonna count it. So that's that. And then what else do I have on? Then I also used my Spring Magic palette by Unearthly because it's my spring palette of for like the spring collection, for like the spring season. So I decided to use the shade Flourish, this beautiful kind of blushy one, in the beginning of the lid and kind of blending everything out. And I also used the shade Warmth, this one, as my inner corner shade. Then for shimmers, so first in the center of my lid, well, kind of all over the lid, but you can maybe see it a little bit in the center. I have the shade Think from the Tinkerbell palette from Colourpop, because this is again my Pendos eyeshadows shade, or actually like one of those shades I'm trying to use up completely. And like the hole is getting bigger and bigger, so I feel like it should work. And then for the rest of the shimmers, I used my new Nomad Cosmetics Fairy Tale Europe palette, this gorgeous one. And I've used two shades that I haven't used together yet. I'm kind of trying to show you like as many combinations as I can. So I have the shade Snow Queen, deep blue in the outer part, and then also the shade Prince Charming in the first third, and I left a little like itty bitty space in the middle for the Think shade that is underneath. So I think you can see that it goes from the blue to yellow and it meets with that Think shade. Hopefully you can see that, and like look at how sparkly that is. This is so beautiful. I just love this look. And then for eyeliner, I've used this Woodens Eye Somage eyeliner in the shade 9. It's beautiful, like very vibrant blue. I don't know if I shared that, but I have the NYX glitter primer underneath the shimmers. Then I have my Rimmel Kind and Free concealer in the shade 10 Fair. Then I have this Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara, this one. Been using that for the second time today. Then for brows, I have this shade. This is the shade Softly from Odysey from the Christmas Eve palette. This is like a deep podded shade that I've been using on my brows quite a bit. And I have got to be brow gel on as well. For blush and highlighter, I decided I have this deep podded shade from the Merry Christmas. It's called Gingerbread from Wooden's Eye. And I decided to use some of this shade and mix it with a bit of my Essence All About Matte setting powder, because I don't really use it too much. Like, I don't set my face. And since I had this pan empty, because recently I finished my chiffon shade, like the chiffon blush from Colourpop, so I decided to franken both of them together to create like lighter version of the gingerbread shade, and it's a beautiful orange blush that I have on today, and I think it looks really, really pretty. So yeah, that's what I used, and I think it's gonna help me to use this and the essence powder as well. So I'm gonna mix it together like this, and I might do that with a couple of my other eyeshadows that are kind of blush or maybe bronzer shade, but I don't really have that much of them, so maybe just eventually. And then I also have this shade Snow White as a face highlight, and I just love this one. And then for my lips, let me actually zoom you out so that you can, well, maybe you can see my lips, but I'm gonna zoom you out anyways. So for my lips, I have the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice, and my Udens Eye and Angelica Nyquist Halloween Bundle lipstick, and this one is the glow one in the shade Radioactive. And I'm getting quite low on this lip product, so we might use it up soon. Should be amazing. But yeah, that's kind of everything. The sun is setting down, so I think that's my cue to finish this this intro, this entry. So let me know what you thought about this look, and see you tomorrow with another one. Hi guys, so here's another makeup look, and I kind of combined all of my new palettes, or like most of my new palette, for this look. And I wanted to do something like very warm and fun and colorful, and I think I managed that quite nicely, even though I had to get up super early today. I am still really happy with this look. So I'm gonna zoom you in and show you what I used. So okay, so obviously I have my Wet n Wild Mega Last primer. Then I'm using the Beauty Billow by Blend Bunny, because obviously I'm trying to haul it at some point. And actually I started with the shade Attraction, this one, because I have that on my brows, as well as the Got to Be Brow Gel. So those are two products that I'm wearing. And then for the eyeshadows, apart from the Wet n Wild, the Mega Last primer, I have this Carnivorous, this like vibrant pink all throughout my crease. Though I kind of stopped myself in this area because I wanted this part like kind of blended out, and I thought I'm gonna do pastel pink, and I'm gonna take my Cosmic brushes, what is it called, the Delicious Delight, that's the one. I kind of forgot, but then I actually decided to use another palette. So after this pink, I also used the shade Devour from this palette, this like really deep purple. I feel like they look so nicely together, this like vibrant pink and this purple. And then I have the Manifestation by V Cosmetics, and I've used the shade I Am Successful, which is this vibrant yellow. It's actually kind of like yellow green. It almost has that like liminess to it. And is that liminess? Kind of. It's like a citrusy yellow green. So I have that in the inner corner and a little bit in the inner crease part, and also on the lower lash line. And I also have the pink shade on the lower lash line, and this is a mascara. Sorry. Okay. Then for shimmers, because I don't have any other mattes here. So for the shimmers, let me actually see. Oh yeah, I know. I've used the shade Pulled Under, this deep one, in the outer third. Then in the center, I have Lawn Slay. And then in the inner third, I have Heartbreak, which is a really, really beautiful orange gold pink. And is that everything? Yeah, I think that's everything for eyeshadows. Also, I use this NYX glitter primer for the shimmer shades. I have this Odysey Somala gel liner in the shade 1. Then I have this Rimmel Kind & Free concealer in the shade 10 Fair. And this Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara that I've been using a bit. Then for lips, I have the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade The Perfect Shade. And the Shine lipstick from the Odysey and Angelica Negros collection. And this one is the Spectral. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get anything out tomorrow because it was already quite hard to actually coat my lips, but I managed. So we'll see tomorrow or like other day if it's actually gonna work. And I'm gonna get some product out even later on. Then I have, for blush, I have this mixed Frankened shade, which is a gingerbread shade from the Merry Christmas palette by Odysey, and my Essence All About Matte setting powder. And I created this warm orangey blush that I've used today because it's in my project. No, Shop My Stash for April, and it's currently April. And then I also have this Nomad Fairytale Europe palette, and I've used the shades Snow White. This one. You know what? I think I'm also gonna use one of the shimmer shades. I think I'm gonna use one of the shimmer shades, and I think it's gonna be the Little Mermaid. This one, I think I want to use that on the lower lash line. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. That is so pretty. So I actually used this this shade, the Little Mermaid, as well. And is that everything? Yeah, I think that's everything for this look. So let me know what you think about this one. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with another look. Bye. Hey guys, so here's another look with the Beauty Below by Blem Bunny. Today, as you can see, I went with a lot of blue shades because I've just been feeling something like darker, and also I have a blue shirt, and you know, that's the entire process, honestly. So I used this quote over here. I started with this shade Watery Grave, and then I deepened it up with the shade Abyss. I think that's how we're supposed to say that. And then in my inner part of the crease, I also used this Ice Maiden palette by Beauty Moon Cosmetics, and I have the shade Sniffle. And underneath my brow, to kind of blend out the previous two shades, I have Arctic Eyes, because the shades kind of lean a little bit towards purple. So I just wanted to, like, you know, like lavender purple. So I wanted to go into that direction. Then for shimmers, in the outer half, I have Pulled Under, this beautiful deep grayish purple blue. Then I have Irresistible in the center of the lid, and Immerse in the inner third of the lid. And in my inner corner, I have a shade from the Ice Maiden palette, and that's the shade Snowed In. I've actually used this one quite a bit as an inner corner highlight. Oh, and I also have the shade Glacial, this one, in the center of the lid, just like slightly dabbing it, because this one is a beautiful, kind of like iridescent holochrome. Let me zoom you in. So maybe you'll be able to see, like, it is so, so pretty. So that's the one that I have in the center of my lid. Then, so primers are same as always. Wet n Wild Mega Last, NYX Glitter Primer. Then I have the Salmon gel liner in the shade 11, this white one. Then I have my Rimmel Kind and Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair. The Essence slash Princess Fall slash Effect Mascara. Then I have my favorite combo for the lips, which is the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade The Perfect Shade. And then my odysey and Angelica Nyquist Halloween Bundle Lipstick, and this one is the Shine one in the shade Spectral. And then I forgot to put on a blush. And as a highlighter, I'm wearing this Manifestation palette by V Cosmetics because there's this beautiful blue, purple, pink shade, which is called I Am Abundance. So I have that all over my cheeks. And yep, that's everything that I'm wearing today. So let me know what you think about this one. I love it. I love how dark it is. I haven't actually done a lot of dark looks lately. And this is just, like, in my opinion, such a siren-y look. And yeah, I just love it. Love it so much. So that's everything for today, and see you again tomorrow with another video. Hey guys, so here's another look. Today I kind of combined a bunch of different things, like older, newer, and I've been doing that lately a lot, so yeah, I just zoomed you in. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Let me actually maybe move it around a bit. Yeah. I don't see what I'm filming, but hopefully it's okay. So today, I kind of, as I said, lately I've been really focusing on my project pans and Windows eyeshadows and stuff like that. And I just really want to focus on some of my products a bit more. But let me tell you what I used today. I have a special announcement because we have a new pan, and it happened in this shade Softly, which is from odysey, and it's one of their, it's a shade from the Christmas Eve palette. I've been using this as a brow shade for the past maybe like a month almost, or it could actually be a full month. And yeah, we have a pan there, which it's not my project, well, it's obviously my project pan palette, but it's not in any other projects. I was just using it because it's in my face palette and because it's easy to use. And we actually did it, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, I don't know how many pans I've hit this month. Well, April for me, it's the 4th, I think. So this is my first pan of the month, but you know, I haven't filmed my Bandos eyeshadows for March yet. I'm gonna do that in 2 days for me, so that's just exciting. That I also, for my eyeshadows, I've used this shade, which is the shade Crypt from the Hello Beam palette. I have that all over my lid, and also a little bit in the crease, like here in the beginning, because I just, you know, I am trying to hit pan in that. Obviously, it's my Pandos eyeshadows, so I've been working on that, and there's a huge dip, like insanely huge dip. I hope now in my trip to England, I'm gonna be there for, well, we're traveling there for on Monday and we're going back on Friday, but we're gonna have like a full Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday there, and then we're gonna get home in the later hours of Friday. So I'm gonna have like at least 3 days worth of using eyeshadows. I don't know how I'm gonna be on Monday and Friday because I might, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like take my makeup off on the ferry and then redo another makeup look on the bus. But if I'll have that option, I might try that. I'm gonna have to ask around. But as a primer, I have the Wet n Wild Mega Last primer. I forgot to say that. And also I have this Got to Be Brow Gel with the brow shade that I've used. Then another pan, those eyeshadows which I've actually hit pan before today, but I decided to expand the pan, is my Salmon 2 palette by Odysey. This one is a Panda palette for this year as well. And I was working on the shade Neptune, and I've actually hit pan on this my previous time I've used it, but it was just like tiny little pan, so I decided to expand it because I would just really like to have a bigger pan, because I feel like the pan that was there previously, since I want to film the Pando's eyeshadows update in 2 days, you wouldn't really see that on camera all that much. It was really hard to take a picture of that, so yeah, I just decided to expand that, and I have that in the outer corner. And then I used from this V Cosmetics Midsummer Moons palette that I've been reviewing not that long ago. It actually took me like 2 weeks to upload the video because I had other things that I've been pushing out, but what can you do? I have this shade. There's no names for these shades, so it's just this deep teal. Also, I'm really sorry if you saw my review of this and also the Manifestation palette. I lost one footage, which was the introduction, where I also like read you what it says over here and stuff. So if you want to read it, just pause the video. But yeah, I don't know what happened with that footage, because I filmed that and I had that and now I don't. Also, here is like a little text at the back of the palette. So I really don't know what happened with that, and like why I didn't upload. I also use this deep black matte as a liner because why not? And then I think I only have shimmers. So for shimmers, I use the Midsummer's Moons, and I have this purple one in the outer half, this turquoisey teal in the inner half. I also use the Manifestation, which is also from V Cosmetics. It's this one. And from this one, I've used, let me see. Yeah, I've used the shade I Am Confident. This one. Kind of in the center to blend these two together because it's a teal to purple flip, and also I just wanted to use it. And then I also have I Trust Myself on the lower lash line, which reminds me that I also have from these V Cosmetics Midsummer Moons. I have the yellow one on the lower lash line and this center shade in my inner corner. I used these shades with my NYX glitter primer. Sorry. And what I forgot to say, before these shimmers, I actually layered another shimmer shade. Well, it's more like a satin, but it's classified as shimmers, even though I don't really count it. But I have this Think shade from the Tinkerbell palette from Colourpop, because this one is also my Pando's eyeshadows, and this one is Project Use Up shade. So I've been really digging into it, and as you can see, there's very little, and these bands are just like so thin, like paper thin. So I hope I'm gonna be able to use it up on my England trip, because I think I'm gonna try to wear these greens as much as I can. I think I'm also gonna take my depotted shades from the Merry Christmas palette by Odysey that I have in my Earth palette. It's all of the greens from the Merry Christmas, so you know, I'm gonna really try. And then what else am I wearing on my eyes? I have this Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the shade yellow. It's one of my favorite eyeliners. It's so small, even though like I have so many older pencils that are not that small. Then I have the Rimmel Kind and Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair. This Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara that I'm currently using. Am I wearing? Oh yeah. Anyways, for lips, I have this Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice. And then 2 lipsticks, both are from the Odysey and Angelica Halloween bundle, because they're my 25 things to pan this year, and I've been also like, I just really like them. I have the matte one in the shade Swan Fog, which is like a brownie bricky shade, and then this glow one in the shade Radioactive to have like as a gloss. Then for my blush, I actually have a Franken eyeshadow and a face powder. So the eyeshadow that I've used is Gingerbread from the Merry Christmas, from Uden's Eye. It's one of those depotted shades. And then I also mixed it, and then I also frankened it with this Essence All About Matte setting powder and created this fun shade. Like you can see, it's a lot lighter. Oh, can you see? It's kind of, it's not too much sunlight. Well, it is quite sunny outside, but not right now in this room. But as you can see, it's a lot lighter than the previous shade, thanks to... Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but they are actually like the previous one, which is this one, is a lot darker. I think you can see that it's like a lot darker. So I've used that as a blush, and even though like it's getting, you can actually see the progress really quickly. But this one I've used it 2 times, I think now, or maybe 3 times since I frankened it, and like it's going down. And then for highlighter, I've actually used my Project 20 Uses palette, which is the Laguna by Glam Shop. And I've used this lightest shade, which is called Coralloviets. So I have that as a highlighter, and I think it looks really pretty. So that's everything for this look. It's kind of like, it's not a full-on basic look, but it's not too innovative either. But I still really like it. I think it's fun, it's cute, and yeah, it just makes me very happy. So that's all I'm wearing today, and see you tomorrow with another look. Hi guys, so here's another weekly makeup look. And today I kind of combined both of my new V Cosmetics palettes just to like play with, and I have this kind of like fun graphic liner look type of thing. So let me zoom you in. And I don't know, like for me, I can see everything nicely, but I don't know if the camera has enough light. Like I'm kind of confused if it's okay. So I hope it's gonna be fine, and I'm not gonna have to change it too much with like post-production. But here is the look. I've used the Manifestation by V Cosmetics and also the Midsummer's Moons, this one. I actually started with Midsummer's Moons, and I have this purple matte as this liner part, and I also blended it upwards with this gray one. Then on my lid, I have, first up, I have this green shade called I'm Worthy from the Manifestation palette, and then also this white one, sorry, this yellow one, I can't speak, called I'm Successful, and I have that in this inner part, and also in the second half of my lower lash line, kind of blending it out. And I also have the purple in the inner corner here, as you can see. And then for shimmers, I started with this green one called I Love Myself, and I have that in the second half of the lid and also on the lower lash line. Then I also have I'm Love, which is this holochrome here in the first third. In the center of my lid, I have this pinky red orange from the Midsummer's Moons. I have it right here. Then I have this yellow here in the inner corner on the top part, above the purple one. I also have the center shade right underneath the purple, and a little bit of this satin green in the outer part of my lid. I think that's everything for the eyeshadows. Then I'm wearing the Wet n Wild Mega Last primer. Sorry, I have hiccups. Then I have the NYX glitter primer. On my brows, I have the shade Softly from Odysey Christmas Eve palette. This one. As you can see, I've expanded the pan that I think I've talked about in the previous look. If that wasn't in the previous video, because I'm not completely sure what I'm putting where. So that one. And this got to be brow gel. Then I have my Rimmel Candon Free concealer in the shade 10 Fair. Where did I put? Oh, here. I have this Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the shade Yellow. Then this Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. On my cheeks, I have this Revolution Fast Base Blush in the shade Peach. I could have used my Franken Ship My Stash blush, but I don't know. Like, I was kind of in a hurry at the end of the makeup session because my friend was coming over, so yeah, I had to like move faster. But I only needed to do like cheeks, so it was fine. Then I have the Laguna by Glam Shop because this is my Project 20 Uses palette, and I think I've already used it like 13 times or maybe 14. So, you know, I'm like really focusing on this, even though I'm using it as a highlighter most of the time. But like, I am so close and I want to roll another palette to play with. So I used the shade Rice Key, this beautiful orange one, on my cheeks as a highlight. I don't know how well you'll see, but it's a beautiful warm highlight. So pretty. And I also have the Coral of it underneath my brows. So that one on the brow bone. I think if I had this in my pan, those eyeshadows, like I would pan it in the next 5 uses because it's pretty low on product. I've been using it quite a bit. I think I've used it like 8 times, but I feel like this is one of those shades that within 15 uses you can definitely pan it. And also it's a beautiful, beautiful inner corner shade highlighter, and I think you can also on the whole lid, it's just so pretty. And it's very sparkly and it has like blue, green, gold type of flips. So it's gorgeous. I don't understand how Glam Shop can be so inexpensive and so gorgeous, because honestly I think they're the same price as Colourpop, but their shimmers are way better. Then on my lips, I have this Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade The Perfect Shade. And my usual combo with it, which is the Odysey and Angelica Halloween Bundle Lipstick, and this one is the Shine one in the shade Spectral. I usually use these two together because I think it just creates beautiful lip. And this is like, if I'm gonna wear cool tone lips, this is what I do. It's kind of this like dusty rose brown. And yeah, I feel like even if I wear like super cool tone look, this still works for me to like make the look seem cohesive, but also isn't too blue, so that my teeth look yellow and my complexion looks weird. So, you know, this is like cool tone that works for me, because like a lot of really cool tones, unless it's like a very bright color, like bright purples work for me, or bright teals, but like they have to be like dark and bright, but they have to have certain depth and brightness. Otherwise, if they're too ashy, I'm gonna look like a ghost. So that's that. But sometimes I do like to look like a ghost. Sometimes it's a good thing. Anyways, let me zoom you out because I probably look insane. Come on. Yeah. And oh my god, my hair is a mess. Anyways, so hopefully you've enjoyed this look. I'm gonna probably pop up like a picture, close-up picture in better light, because I'm not completely sure how well you can see what I'm wearing. So I'm gonna put up a close-up picture for you, and let me know what you thought about this look. And I think this is the last look of the video, so in case it is, hope you've enjoyed it, and let me know which of these products you own and what was your like most used products in the past week. But with that being said, have a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you with another video. Bye.